Welcome to Simply Sacred with Auroara Leigh, where we're here with Nicholas Mercier, and he is talking about all things healing, reaching your inner goal because you want to have transformation, but he's talking about it in such a powerful way that is revealing and hopefully transformative. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Hi, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, so do you want to introduce yourself in the way that feels right to you?
Yeah, I could do that. My name is Nicholas Alexander Mercier, and I'm a barber, a young man that's 37 in recovery. I'm proud to share my story that, you know, I've come a long way through my journey in life, and I'm transitioning, and I've surrendered completely to, you know, my past self. I'm just trying to be reborn again each day and take each day with stride and guidance from those around me that are wise counsel, and just surrendering to my higher power.
Nice introduction.
Oh,
That's lofty, hey?
Cool, thank you so much. I'm also a barber, an entrepreneur of sorts. There's many things, but I would just like to identify as a young man in recovery who's fully surrendered and is just living thy will be done, not mine.
Nice, okay. Well, yeah, this is the Wellness Warrior episode, so
super cool.
All things transformation of your current story.
I'm excited to be here. I really appreciate the welcome, and I'm open for it entirely.
So you do prayer in the chair, so it really piques my interest, because here you're doing a tangible skill, a technical skill that people require and they come to you for, but then you add in this like blessing aspect. Well, that's what I think of. I haven't witnessed it, but I'm thinking of that when I hear prayer in the chair. I'm thinking of, you know, you're helping them with their hair, but then you're also giving them some good vibes.
Yeah, you're spot on. I'm a barber. I'm a hair loss professional, like a replacement specialist, so scalp micropigmentation. I'll probably encourage or assimilate that into all my works. When I work close with a man or a woman, specifically and typically it's a man, for barbering, I touch them. I'm literally touching them physically. And so there's a transfer of energy, and it's important in my transformation in my life since surrendering to the past self. I was, you know, living a life with a mask on and not really fully understanding who it is I was or am, and utilizing and abusing the consumption of illicit drugs and alcohol. So the prayer in the chair comes from a unique receival of guidance from above as I was working through my 90 days recovery program at Freedom's Door here in Kelowna. Do you want me to kind of get into like how I discovered this?
I have a prop I want to grab, and I want you know, you said something. You said a mask. Okay, so I'm hoping to kind of hear more from you about what that mask was, because that's really where you were shedding, right?
Yeah. When it comes to like prayer in the chair, thank you. Yeah, you're right. You hit it spot on. I cut hair. I cut hair for service, and I cut hair obviously for a living. So when I cut hair for service, it's always a service, but I was giving my time through my recovery program all summer long at the beach. And I wasn't named prayer in the chair, but what I did was I came down to the Hot Sands Beach, Tugboat Beach, wherever the case may be. I was cutting. I can cut hair anywhere. It's beautiful. I got a backpack, and I just stash my whole barbershop in it. And I just pull up, and then I put out a sign, or people don't, it's not even really necessary to have a sign once they see someone in a chair getting a haircut. People would just come, and they'd be like, wow, they'd watch, and they'd ask questions, and they'd ask if they could get one if it was necessary, and I just began cutting hair. And then when I received the download when I was in Freedom's Door with the 24/7 prayer group, they came to discuss and tell us about their movement, the 24 hours prayer for 7 days a week. That started in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's really special, and that's when I received this download to start prayer in the chair. So yeah, I'm sorry about the mask. We'll get to this in a moment. I just want to really make it clear what it is I do. I give cuts for service for cash that gets donated or nothing, just the time. And I donate to Metro Hub for the less fortunate community.
I love that.
Thank you. It's beautiful. They're amazing what they do. And then I just wanted to be a part of something, give back. And in that, I would begin or end or both with a prayer, just to ensure that people knew that they were being heard, bring dignity to the cut, to them, their lives, have their story be heard and told, if they so chose to have it shared. I haven't really captured too many of these opportunities or experiences, but this is something I'm going to be moving forward with as I graduate Freedom's Door next week. And I'll be moving.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Shout outs to Freedom's Door. I just want to be of service. I got to stay in the program, which is the 12-step program of Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous. Surrender, be led, give my power over to the higher power, and then be of service. And so my vision for the future is to start a school group community, make prayer more common again, make prayer acceptable at conversation. You know, COVID did a lot on the world. I had some unique experiences in that space and time. And yeah, prayer in the chairs for the people. And I just want to give back through letting them be heard. And then the power of prayer is just fascinating. Whether you have a belief in my Lord Jesus Christ or just a belief in like the universe, however that looks, we can all agree upon the universal laws that we know are true, the law of reciprocity, the law of attraction, manifestation, the laws of cause and effect. All these things come into this situation hand in hand with prayer. Prayer is just like a belief and faith in something greater than ourselves, and we can connect together and we can share that moment and then call upon the universe, or as I mentioned, my Savior, to help bring
Cosmic
in those changes.
power.
Yeah, you got it, man. It's beautiful. Your mask.
So before that, I'm curious. So how often do you do prayer in the chair?
Any opportunity I can. In fact, I did a haircut today at the Apple Bowl on my good friend Louis, and we cut his hair right there at the track, and it was just amazing. The sun was shining. We pulled up a bench. I just dropped out my backpack, pulled the tools out, cut his hair, and when we finished, I asked him if there's anything on his mind or heart, and he mentioned he wanted to pray for the youth and the children of this world that are in positions of trauma, in situations that are their control that they didn't ask for, that need, you know, love and a prayer to be spoken for them. And so that's what we did. We prayed together for the youth, whether they be here in Kelowna, BC at large, Canada, or just all around the world. As we know, there's a lot of children affected by things that are under the control when it comes to drugs, alcohol, trauma, trafficking, et cetera. And so, you know, adoptions, community homes, all that kind of stuff. My story kind of starts back in that way too. You know, I was a troubled youth. I had a great family, but I was very rebellious, and I've been on my own since 16, 17 in the house. I went to, I'll share it. Yeah, I was facing jail time at 19, was in a shelter when I came out of that, went to college, university, and the list goes on. There's a lot of people that need prayer, and this was one that he wanted to speak to, so that's what we did.
And that shared connection.
It's beautiful.
Do you find that most people who come for prayer in the chair are of Christian background or faith?
Well, to be frank, like the prayer in the chair is brand new to me, since actually it was a unique receival of that instruction, if you will. It came to me and like solidified in real life school event, which I actually, if I may share that, where I met you. You won a prize. It was beautiful. That was the greatest experience, one of the greatest experiences of my life. Tying all together how it came to be and who I met there and the confirmations I received, like Matthew from school, he prayed for us. He was the last presenter, and that's when I was like moved. I was like, this is wild. This solidifies exactly what it is I need to do. I need to pray more often publicly for my people, the people. And so that's how that came to be. But to answer your question, I wouldn't say that many, if any, really identify as Christians. They just identify as human beings that are in a position to receive and are open to accept and then speak into or ask of a prayer.
Yeah, because we all need more connection and love.
I
and
agree.
shared humanity.
You got it.
Hey, and beaming our hearts out in shared values.
This is a really beautiful community in Kelowna.
Yeah.
And I think many, if not most, if not all, the people I've met here are in a position to receive connection, and it's special.
I love how everything Metro does goes back to those who need it the most.
Yes.
And so when you're doing that, specifically, it's separate from your other work that you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I surrendered my career. I had a barbershop named Black Market. This kind of ties back into the point we were discussing earlier. COVID, when connection was like made illegal almost, mandated no connection or 6 feet apart and all these kind of weird, funky things that were against our human nature. Like it was not normal for people to be scared of their neighbor, to not be able to go get a haircut, or big business was flourishing and small communities, small businesses were being crumbled. And families were getting ripped apart. So I took it upon myself to start Black Market Barber Co., which was a barbershop in the garage. There was 4 barbers. One came from Vancouver. There was myself and 2 others. And we cut hair for the community. I say this with humility, like I was proud, but not, I didn't want to be too boastful, but I was just honest. I was like, I'm registering a business. I'm opening the garage door wide open, and I'm sharing this with the world. Lord, forgive me, and sorry, community, if you guys were upset about that. I was cutting.
Are you saying you weren't supposed to because it was COVID,
Well,
but it was like people need haircuts?
There was a
connection?
mandate. There was a mandate. Yeah, you're right. There was a mandate.
Right.
And the mandate, when in my heart of hearts, didn't confirm or feel as though it was a law. In fact, it wasn't a law. So I did what I had to do. The rebellious spirit in me said, listen, I'm going to be there for my people, and I'm going to cut hair for them. I wasn't sick. If I was to be sick, I wouldn't be cutting hair. And so I was clean. I was cognizant of space, and I just did what I had to do to take care of people. And there was a lot of people that came and were very thankful, and they received that time and space and the connection. It was a beautiful experience. That led into an actual official location, which I had on Barron Road, for about 4 years. And I surrendered the entire shop, my whole operation, everything I was doing, to go and get the help I needed through Freedom's Door, to surrender.
Good.
Yeah, it was a hard time.
So you're only cutting hair when you're doing prayer in the chair now?
That's right, but I'm free. I'm free.
Like where can people go if they were like, wow, I want to get my hair cut and a prayer at the same time?
Beautiful, yeah. I'm gonna be opening up a private studio out of my dwelling, like I kind of did with Black Market Barberco. I almost said basement barbershop, which was my first barbershop in Alberta. I started a barbershop in the basement of my house. But I'm gonna open up an official location again soon. You can expect that within the next 3 to 6 months. But I do have a location, a private studio in my home. It's inclusive. It's not private in the sense that I don't accept clients.
Is it inclusive to women?
Yeah, I can cut hair for women, but I'm going to be doing a lot more education when it comes to color and longer hairstyles. But I do focus in on men. That's my bread and butter. And I'm definitely available for booking. You can find me on Instagram, Nicholas, Nicholas, .Alexander, ALEXANDER, and then Mercier, MERCIER. My phone number. Am I gonna throw it out there? It's on my. Check my.
I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I'm open. It's all. I have no. I don't hide my. I don't hide my number. I share it with the world because I do receive a lot of text messages and phone calls right now for people looking for support when it comes to actually asking for prayer and asking for guidance and even like just moral and support in proximity to walk in or sit beside them in meetings. A lot of people are looking for an ability or an opportunity to see what it's like to try a new way of life, and that comes through those chairs and the meetings at Prayer in the Chair, and then obviously Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous. So my number is available. In fact, we put them on call sheets. If you're a new member of that fellowship, each time, if it's your first time, you'll get a whole list of everybody's number. If you're a male, males, and females, females. Yeah, my number is 778-821-3222. I'll book you in.
Okay. So we're going to go back to the masks soon here. Because we're coming to you, your transformation. I love that you're of service and that like heart forward work that you do, and part of transformation is that. But and that heart inward for you right now in your own transformation, your own love and healing and growth and mindset and everything that you need and nurture, right? So when you look at, you had stated when you had to take off the mask.
Yeah.
And so using that mask, can you describe what that means?
Yeah, this was a mask I'd wear, metaphorically speaking, each day. That like was a young, scared little boy, but projecting the man that I was. So from like age 18, I suppose we could say, through up until about 3 months ago, where I was projecting, manifesting, creating this identity of someone that I wasn't, which was secure, well-positioned in life, aware of who it is I am, strong, successful, however, like that's a subjective term, but I think a lot of people do in the Western world look at success as partnership with the opposite sex or the same, however you want to see that, cash flow, the cars you drive, what you wear, where you reside, where you've traveled to, your Instagram reel, all of these things, they're really well manicured and positioned to speak some sort of truth for me I can only speak to that wasn't honest. I was showing that I was well put together, well articulate. I'm an artist. I'm physically taking care of myself. I've got a cool dog, I've got great friends, I like to be around these types of people, whatever the case. I projected a lifestyle that wasn't true to the identity or the spirit that I've been given from above. I was formulated, crafted, and shaped by my own ego and the world around me. And so I was a young man that didn't have a father. My mom and my dad split when I was 3. My stepdad came in when I was about 10, 11. And I was torn between identities, whose son am I? When I was young, between 3 to 10, I had to defend myself and my older brother. He was bullied. I didn't have much care from a masculine figure. I didn't have some role models, I spent a lot of time with friends that had well put together families that I always longed for. And I just was a confused, scared, hurt little boy. And that came all the way through up until most recently when I was like, I'm not those things. And I surrendered to who it is I've been designed to be. And I think who we've all been designed to be is a brother and a sister to the world. We're all brothers and sisters. And a person that can reach out and call out for help and can be of service and surrender to what the world thinks and wants us to be or what we want to be for the world, and just kind of discover that as we recreate ourselves in new moral standards, new ways of living, the way we eat, the way we speak, the things we do in our own time behind closed doors, what we read, what we listen to, really finding what truly comes from me in the spirit is something I need to discover for myself. And that is a really challenging thing to do when you've been formulated by this world and then all dependent on substances to fill a void, a hole in my heart that I couldn't have filled by anything else but my Creator.
Right. And that pain and that fear behind the mask, right? That was
a lot.
actually there. So you must have had to do a lot of effort to keep that suppressed or the lid on, or whatever metaphor you want to call it.
Yeah.
And that presenting to the world just almost filled yourself too.
Yeah, there's a hole that I tried to fill a cup with a hole in the bottom. So I'm constantly pouring into it with all these things that can't fill that cup. And then at the end of the day, it's almost like whatever I was filling the cup with from that metaphorical hole at the bottom kept sanding it away to make a bigger one. So I just kept losing more and more as I tried to fill it. It's like there was a lot of friction. It's like I was pouring it in with acid or something instead of just holy water.
At what point did you realize, and you all of a sudden realized that mask wasn't you?
When I couldn't keep the act up any longer and things were just appearing impossible for me to wake up the next day and just carry on in any type of way. I couldn't. There was a time when I was pushing my barbering clients away. I'd have fully booked schedule, and I'd have to make a new excuse for every client why I couldn't see them today, why I had to move them to the next day or the next day or the next day. And
why did you have to?
Because I was in pain, and I was hurting inside, and I was when you try to fill a hole with substance, as I just mentioned, you get a bigger hole out of it. You just get deprived, depleted, obsolete. I was becoming nothing. I was being withered away, my spirit, my soul, and my body. I was down in you got a gas tank. Check your vehicle. You're driving, you're low in fuel, or you got an electric vehicle. You got to charge it. You got to fill it. How do we do this? Well, that's probably through meditation and sleep and rest and food, family, connection. I didn't have my family. They're in Ontario. I don't have the direct connection with my family. When I was abusing substances, I wasn't connecting with them. I wasn't connecting with anyone of substance. I wasn't connected to my higher power. I wasn't eating healthy. I was abusing drugs and alcohol, which leaves you empty, withdrawing, etc. So I was just constantly fighting an uphill battle, walking backwards with my eyes closed. It was madness.
Right. The opposite of addiction is genuine connection.
You got it, man. Yeah,
And
connection
love,
is the
right?
ticket. Love. Yeah.
So was there a pivotal moment where you were like, hey, and you had to surrender?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. I surrendered. I use the quotations because I surrendered my career. I surrendered my business and all of the debts and all. I surrendered everything to go into the program of Freedom's Door last July. But I didn't surrender my will. I didn't surrender the mask. I kept the mask on. So I was like
For safety.
Yeah, I didn't know it yet.
It was a good adaptation when you needed it, right? Until you didn't.
It protected me all my life, and then I thought the surrender to go into the program alone would have saved me, but it didn't. There was challenges inside of the first attempt. I was asked to leave within six weeks. There was feathers being ruffled inside between me and other men, etc. And there's men there that have been there longer, and like the best and most appropriate thing that needed to be done was ask for me to take a step back and really recognize where it is I was, what I was trying to accomplish, reassess, and come back with some humility. So I returned after 6 weeks, just past my birthday last year when I turned 36. So I came back. I went in for 6 weeks, was asked to leave for a few, went back about a month later, and then I went and I did the whole 90-day program and relapsed 3 days prior. Wild. Now, yeah, so the surrender, even in those 2 attempts, wasn't official. I didn't fully surrender my will and my ego. You can't surrender your ego, but you can really work towards walking in humility, taking recommendations, doing what is asked and told of you by professionals that have done this for a living. I've seen this countless times by hundreds, if not thousands of men. So they knew best, but I knew best.
Right.
I knew best.
Your ego dictated that you knew best.
Yeah, I was edging everybody out. And so this relapse I went through was from January into late May, and I fully surrendered. I got to my knees and I just said, listen, I can't keep trying to pretend like I know what I'm doing and I can save myself. I need to give myself to my higher power. I need to believe in this program and take every recommendation, every single recommendation that was given to me. I followed suit with it and I took it beyond seriously. And I've done this now for 100 days. And I would say, honestly, that I'm never experienced such a change in me, and I'm very grateful for the people, the places, and the things that have allowed for me to get to that place, which is here with you, with people of community of faith and love and respect, and that connect with love and have seen some things and have done some things and know a bit better than what I thought I knew.
So there's a lot of people living in our communities with a lot of pain, okay? And with that pain, they're coping and they're numbing and they're trying to get by and they're using whatever they can, right? With the tools that they have at the time.
That's right.
And so because you found community and belonging and you found way showers, that's the thing, you found mentors, you found guides, right?
Yep.
And so many are in isolation that don't have that. So what a blessing that you found that, you created that for yourself and you found that and they created that around you. So for anyone listening right now who might be in isolation, maybe it's not Freedom Store because maybe they're a female or a trans person, but how they feel right now is what matters. Because when you're in isolation, there could be a whole bunch of organizations that actually would be helping, but you don't know it because you're in isolation.
That's right.
You don't feel it, you don't see it, you don't seek it out, right? And so when someone's tuning in to the episode and they're in the pain, they're in the masking, they're in the numbing, in whatever form, because we all know there's many forms of numbing. Could be shopping.
Yeah, of course.
It could be all these things.
Social media, shopping.
What would you say? Like, because, someone's ego is so well formed. We all have ego, right? It's so well formed to be, well, I don't need that. I don't need to connect to myself. Ugh. And they want to slough it off. But what would you say to those people?
Well, I would ask them a question. Do you believe that you deserve better? And I would assume, I try not to make assumptions as part of the 4 agreements, but let's just assume that their answer is yes, that they deserve better, and they want to live a different way. Then I would encourage them to surrender. We'll use it. We'll just keep using this word. It's a really important word to recognize and maybe add to your vocabulary. Surrender to what you think is the answer, and then explore, and then be open to receiving. So, for example, I would suggest to anybody, if they've got fears, which many of us do, and I did as well, to surrender to the fear and almost like a buffalo, run straight to the eye of the storm. You need
Eye of the storm being their pain?
Yeah, you can find solutions in community. I know that isolation is hard to get out of, but with the surrendering to their will, their ego, their answers that they've had that clearly aren't working because they feel this pain and they know they deserve better, it's to use the resources that are extremely available to them right now. You can use an app, you can use a website, you can use a phone, you can use a phone book. And the first thing I would suggest, first thing I would suggest is to find someone or go alone, because you're not alone when you get there. The 12-step program, whether it's Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Codependency Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, excuse me, SA, Sexual Addicts Anonymous. All of these communities and fellowships are there as a we program, not a me program. So they've got people there that are passing the baton backwards. They'll give you what they have, which is freedom. Instead of taking something from you, they're reaching back to hand you the baton, and they encourage you with open arms, love, and respect. They're vulnerable, and they would appreciate that of you, because that's where the power comes. Tell your story, share your pain. We're cut from a very similar cloth, especially people in suffering and addictions. We can all be there to support, and they've done the program. They've got the success. They have a life that, if you're looking for change, they've got it. And so they'll provide the answers for you. Find a sponsor inside of those rooms. You can share, or you can just listen. And listening does wonders. And then when you get comfortable, you've met some people, and you maybe they'll reach out to you. That's their job. The 12th step tradition is to hand over the steps and the process and the love that they've garnered from it to you, to encourage you, to build you up, and to give you the support, appreciation, love, and respect that you deserve to find a new way to live. So pull up the internet, check out the 12-step groups through the ones I just mentioned. Or if I may, I'll share it too. There's like Charis, which is for women. There's options for unisex. It's for everybody, male, female, LGBTQ+, whatever. All of those, the whole groupings, they're there for you. Freedom's Door for Men. There's a list, but the first step, it's free. There's meetings out the wazoo here in Kelowna. It's a beautiful recovery program. Is the 12 steps. Google 12 steps Kelowna. You'll find. And
there's communities that tune into this from elsewhere, so they can go in anywhere.
Whatever community you're in. So greater.
So you're really for 12 steps, hey?
Yeah, the 12 steps.
What would you say for folks that are like, well, they want you to believe in a higher power, and they just don't want to go to that spiritual place?
Cool. So that's amazing, and I love that you said that. From my experience in the rooms, I've done 90 meetings in 90 days, which is a suggestion actually. Find a home group, do your 90 meetings in 90 days, find a sponsor, start the steps. The steps can be started, and I suggest you do, even if you don't have any draw or belief in a higher power. It's a spiritual program, not a religious. So there's no religious involvement in there. You can make your higher power be a tree. Your higher power is something outside of yourself. Many just find that their higher power is the 12 steps itself, or the community and the fellowship inside. There is, I think, secular 12-step groups as well. There's definitely a magnitude of opportunities and options, but if you were to do the 12-step, go in with an open mind and open heart. The thing I would suggest is you can't find something of change if you don't try something new. If there's no change, there's nothing new. So just have faith in something being possible to be granted to you through, the first step is surrender, admitting that you are powerless over X, Y, or Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have another prop.
Okay.
So just see naturally what comes up from what this prop is, okay? And see how you relate to it within the context of your own story.
Let's do it. Should I close my eyes as a surprise?
Close your eyes.
Okay.
I like that idea.
Okay.
Surrender to the great mystery.
Let's do it. What you got?
Ready?
I am.
Okay, put your hand up.
Hey, what's up? The mirror.
And so that journey of self and self-love, how has that been for you?
That's a cool question. And it's neat that I'm holding a mirror. Because before the self-reflection, the surrender, I wasn't able to really look at myself in the mirror. This is neat that I'm on this show and I'm looking at myself in the mirror. And I'm comfortable doing it because I'm proud of this man that's inside of this mirror. So can you ask me?
Where do you feel that in your body? You're proud of yourself as the man.
Right here.
Yeah?
Yeah, like center, chest, heart. In the top of my head. It's really my whole being. Going in your hairs, thank you.
What does it feel like?
It's a warm glow. Yeah. It's kind of like a sunset or a sunrise where you just like start to feel the heat. start to feel the warmth where the night is turning over or the day is turning over. It's like when the day ends, we know a new day will be tomorrow. We can hope, right? And so far for 37 years, I've had a new day I've had a new opportunity in a new day each time I wake up. So yeah, it's just a unique feeling. It's kind of like a sunset at the beach or a sunrise at the beach. Things are warming up. When it's a sunset, it's cooling down. But you get what I'm trying to say. We'll go sunrise. It feels like the heat's turning up and it's beautiful because it's warm. And no one likes to be cold. No one likes to be in the dark. So I'm grateful for this mirror. I'm grateful for the warmth in my chest.
Nice. How do you feel the mirror is a big part of the unmasking?
Well, yeah, that's a cool question too. Well, when I was wearing a mask, metaphorically speaking, it was hard for me to look at myself because I wasn't conducting myself or embodying my true self. So when I looked at myself, I knew that I wasn't looking at the person I was born to be, or I was created to be, or that I naturally am. I was looking at like some sort of facade of who I thought I was. And 9 times out of 10, it was someone that was hurt. I was hurt. I was really hurt. And to look at the hurt right on, face on, is a challenge. It takes time sometimes, and maybe you don't even need to look in the mirror. You just need to look within. And then when you look within, you can start to like just give space and time for that younger version of yourself, that younger boy or girl, and appreciate that young man or woman, and just give them love. And so like
your inner child.
We all got one. Yeah.
And I don't think it's a one and done. Like if people think, oh, well, I've transformed now, it's done, and now I love myself and I've taken the mask off. I think that layers can be there, and also we can bring it back on in times when we're like, I really need a protector right now, right? And feel that safety. And it takes a bit of time. It takes layers.
Yeah, I would suggest, in fact, like if I may, from my suggestions from the fellowship of the 12 steps, I'm going to hammer in on this. The 12 steps has been freedom for me.
All right.
And so from the 12 steps literature, it speaks to this. We surrender each day. We admit each day that we're powerless over whatever we were facing. So for me, it was, I'm powerless over the use and the consumption of alcohol and drugs. I've got an obsession of the mind when I use, and I've got an allergy of the body. So for example, we know that 1 is too many and 1,000 is never enough. So I will never, ever...
For alcohol?
Alcohol, cannabis, and other drugs that are
like once you start kind of thing?
Yeah, as soon as you take a sip, if you're an alcoholic and you're in recovery, and I'm now 100 days out of using, and if I were to pick up a glass of alcohol right now, I've just unleashed my allergy. The allergy of the body, meaning that now I have an obsession of the mind. It's kind of like a 2-in-1.
Because something kicks in.
Yep. It's the neurological pathways that have been connected to my mind and my brain's wiring since...
For a number of years.
For years. For years and years. So I surrender each day. I know I woke up today, I'm a recovering addict. I'm a grateful recovering addict. And so with that being said, I cannot go back and backpedal or take my foot off the gas in my recovery. It doesn't mean I have to go cuckoo and like do all these crazy things each day, but what I do need to do is surrender, admit that I'm powerless, and then do the next step, which is to be in fellowship, community, and be of service. And so if I'm in fellowship, community, and service, I will never need to go back to using because my cup's now full. The cup is full because I'm in community, fellowship, service, and that cup is just love. I love myself today. I love my people. I love others. And I can look at people with the spiritual principles that are instilled in me through the program and understand and recognize that they too need what I need when I've been granted and gifted, which is love and an understanding of who it is I am. And that's all we really need in life, is community and understanding and love.
It's true.
In my opinion.
It is true.
Yeah, in my opinion.
I mean, we can do a quick snapshot of what some reality is for some folks, which is I've got to grind the 9 to 5, you know, or I want to buy those things. You spoke to that kind of drive. I mean, that's social conditioning too, right? We need the things to be enough, the I'm enough, am I enough story, right? All of that. And people are busy. And so, or you've got parents that have kids, so after they get off work, are they able to connect with a whole group of folks after work or on the weekends? Maybe not.
This is
right?
fantastic. You're right.
If you fall sick,
You
You
can,
know, can you count on someone, or maybe they're with their kids, right? It's in a very individualized society. So what
It
you're
is.
speaking of is such a beautiful thing, right? But
Yeah.
not everyone accesses that due to how we have designed our society.
Amen. And I love what you're saying. It's so true. I'm just going to keep being an advocate in the space that I feel I have the ability to do so and the right, and I'm honored to do so. When it comes back to the 12-step program, any of those we just described earlier, you can find them online.
You can find community anywhere.
You can find, yes, of course, you can do the 12 steps online. You could tune into a meeting in like Indonesia right now if they were speaking English. I hope they were. And you can watch it from your
What if
phone.
people think, okay, I have 6 drinks a day or on the weekend, but I'm not an alcoholic. I don't need that.
Okay, I can only do my best to appreciate and respect these people for their beliefs, but let's ask them the question, is it affecting the way you live? Can you do life without it? And if you can go the whole week without it, but you have to each weekend, and then what happens when you do start to consume? Can you say no? Can you stop? Is it affecting your life? Is it affecting the way you communicate, your relationships, your self-worth, the way you eat, the way you sleep? Like, if there's issues that are controlling any of these circumstances, then I would suggest that take a deeper look inside, and there's nothing wrong with admitting something that may make you feel less than. But there's power in the vulnerability, in the willingness to be open and find your truth, which is maybe I am. And because when you are able to do that, you're limitless. Your power becomes unlimited. It's limitless because you now have an understanding that you can surrender to to a truth, the truth, not the truth that you formulated for yourself that society's maybe conditioned you to choose to believe. If you can ask for help, then you can ask for anything, and you can create anything out of believing and receiving.
Right. Oftentimes, crisis leads to transformation, right? So oftentimes it has to be a whole wall that's hit, just like what happened for you, before someone says, oh, maybe there is a shift I could do.
Yeah, the gift of desperation.
Right.
That is a gift.
Yeah, because it makes you fall to your knees. And that
That's right.
point opens you up to possibilities.
That's right. So a lot of people, everybody's got a different wall, a different ceiling, however you want to look at that. The gift of desperation sometimes comes at a different time in an individual's life. Some people go deeper, darker, further. Sometimes it takes, from what I've heard through the recovery program, some people have overdosed countless times. Some people literally died and have come back. People go to jail, they lose family members, or whatever the case. There's a different point for each of us. For when the pain becomes so great that we need to decide that it's too much, or we've decided it's too much, and we're willing to do whatever it takes to get outside of that pain and to find a new way to live. Like that's your bottom, man. And I had my bottom. I couldn't do it any longer. I couldn't experience life the way I was any longer.
Right, and you're consistently moving forward. So on a tangible level, what is your day-to-day? Because you're just one step at a time. Every day you meet another sunrise, right? Like you said. So what is your tangible steps of moving forward daily to keep yourself in that rhythm?
Cool. 2 things I'd like to say. It's so wild. I tattooed on my chest here when I was 18, one day at a time. And now I'm living a day at a time, one day at a time in recovery. That's like one of our catchphrases, just for today, or one day at a time. We don't need to worry about yesterday, it's gone. We can't worry about tomorrow. There's enough to be worried about today. So it's just one day at a time. And the first tag you'll get at these meetings is just for today, and it's white. That's the international color of surrender. So we're surrendering just for today. The tangible is just to surrender for today. Recognize just for today, I'm going to do what I need to do, which is to surround myself with my new, my fellowship, my new people of influence, which I would suggest is to step away from what's been yours. If you're living a life of in addiction or pain, you want to surround yourself with new people that are 1, 2, 3, 10, 50 steps ahead of you. You can only get better when you're surrounding yourself with those that are better than you. If I'm surrounding myself with someone that's in pain and torture, I'm only going to be in pain and torture. So I surround myself with my new fellowship. I get up, I go to the gym every day. I haven't missed a day in the last 100 days except for Sunday I go to the gym. So I feel like that's where I'm able to bring my frequency up, my physical frequency, my body, my mind. I get out of my mind and I get into my body. So that comes with walking or the bike or the lifts or the weights, etc. So the gym starts there. I get good food into me, water, some coffee in the AM. I start the day with prayer and Proverbs. So there's ancient Proverbs in the Bible. You can also just start the day with, say, for example, spiritual principles or something of high quality that takes you out of your mind and into a thought process or a frequency of something positive. You could read a good book. You could watch a good program. You could listen to something of quality, an audio book, a podcast.
Be discerning what you're consuming.
Yeah, the discernment is cool because that's what comes in as you develop and learn more about yourself, what is for you and what isn't. So I would say that it's like getting out of my head, getting in my body, consuming quality. So food, what I listen to, what I read, who I speak with, how I speak, it's all going to be better than I was, where I don't want to be. Where I wasn't, I can't be a part of that any longer. Where I am now, I must maintain and stay grounded in that. I like to put my feet on the grass. I like to walk in nature. I like to go for walks. I ride a skateboard often. So I'm moving my body. I'm going to meetings, as I mentioned, 12-step meetings at noon, in the evenings, on the weekends. Not to pump religion, but I go to my church. There's different things you can consider your church. On the weekend, you could start to go hiking. You could go to the beach. You could, if you have a dog, you could spend more time with him or her. You could reach out to someone in your family. You could find new people to call that you would, meet at these fellowships. Just like really leaning into what works and what's of higher frequency and where people or places are different than where I was.
Valid, because what we know we will get, and if we change what we do, then we'll get a new outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to learn something new each day, and I want to do something that makes me uncomfortable, because kind of like a lobster or a crayfish or whatever something that they get uncomfortable and they got to get out of their shell and they got to find a new home. So as you continue to get uncomfortable, then you move out of that space and into another space that's more comfortable. And when you get comfortable, you got to get uncomfortable. And that's not to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. That's not healthy. You want to be uncomfortable. Like coming here, it was a bit uncomfortable. This is unique. I've never done something like this. So I had to move towards that. Just like I mentioned, the buffalo will run to the eye of the storm. So if I see something I'm trying to avoid, got to go right into it.
And buffalo represents strength, hey?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, question. So I didn't follow a 12-step program for my healing journey.
Okay.
I was doing all kinds of different modalities, and I was learning about them, researching, but healing my own complex PTSD.
Okay.
I know many people who have followed that journey. So I don't know as much. I know some of the steps, and I'm aware. But I'm curious, genuinely, about this question. So many people are in their addictions because they're escaping their pain, as we've said.
Yeah.
But under that pain is real feelings, right? And is it a safe space for them to have feelings there? Like if they are coming up mid-service or mid-talk, or I don't know what it's called, mid-talk, and there's a lot of feelings coming up, is there a safe container for them there? Or is there additional resources they get supported by to have actually face that pain?
Cool. Great question. So that's amazing. When it comes to me, it can speak to my experience and what I've seen. So like I mentioned, I've gone to 90 meetings in 90 days. Out of 90 meetings, there isn't one single meeting I haven't been to where there wasn't someone everyone's being vulnerable because they share. And you can share to the level of what you're comfortable in. And some people, if you're called upon to share, will choose, I'm not going to share today, I'm just going to listen. So you don't even need to. But if you do choose to share and you're in an uncomfortable position, emotions, feelings, traumas come to the surface, take your time. You're given you're given 5 minutes, and you can even go above and beyond. No one's going to stop you unless it's getting out of hand. But you've got 5 minutes to share. If you don't get an opportunity to share at the meeting, we have a fellowship that meets in the parking lot. The meeting goes from inside the location, Kelowna Club, First Baptist Church, wherever the case may be, and then everyone's going outside to get to their cars. Some people vape, smoke, and other people just stay around and connect with the fellowship. So you have an opportunity to speak to people inside, outside. You'll have your sponsor. If you find one, you can find a temporary sponsor. You'll meet new people. There's a call sheet. You can reach these people inside the sheets. But anyways, in the space and the time when you're asked and called upon to share, if you're getting into a position of uncomfortability, the emotions are overwhelming. Just we're encouraged, like, oh, you're okay, you're safe here. What we say here, what we see here, what we hear here stays here. Here. We have traditions that we never waver from. They're spoken, they're shared, and we read them off sheets every single day, every time, every meeting. Around the world, it's the same. The
So
standard,
people can cry openly.
absolutely. I cried multiple times. And now that I'm getting an understanding and I can feel, hear, and share my emotions, it's important to just like be with it and have no shame in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we need more shared collective spaces like
I
that.
agree. It's super cool. There's plenty, there's just more develop each day. And we just got to be open to receive them. And it's kind of like a puzzle. As you put a puzzle together, it becomes more clear what the image is. So as long as you got one puzzle piece to start, you can start right here. And then your reference visual is like someone that's already in a position that was where you were, and now they are somewhere in a much maybe more peaceful, healthier space. You can reference them by asking them, just asking questions, being vulnerable with people that are in this fellowship, these fellowships, is safe. It's going to be okay.
You mentioned your awareness of your inner child. So what does it mean to you nurturing your inner child?
Oh, it's so cool. I through Freedom's Door and my counselor, Ed, we just spoke about this on Thursday.
Oh, Ed Wise?
Oh man, he's gonna shoot me for not knowing his last name.
I think so.
I seen Ed today at Corey's every
Is
morning.
he at Third Space?
I'll do some research on this.
That's okay.
I'll get back to you. But me and Ed speak to my little child, and he encourages me to do the same. I can literally call upon him and speak to him inside and have a conversation with myself. And you're not to be quiet to yourself. You're supposed to communicate to your inner child and love him and tell him it's going to be okay. Can you re-articulate that question just so I know I'm answering it properly?
Yeah, for sure. So you noted your aspect of knowing the inner child, and how do you nurture your inner child?
Okay, so yeah, just right now I have access to counseling, thankfully, to Freedom's Door. Anyone that doesn't have, that isn't into a recovery program has access through Interior Health. I would strongly suggest that they access them. And then you can find your ways to nurture your inner child by just like going back in time and writing a letter. Say there's something like, for example, me, like I have things I need to say and get out to my parents, my dad's. Whether I share that with them or not is irrelevant. But to write it out, get it out on paper, whether we rip it up, put it in an envelope and pretend we mailed it, and like get my opinion, my voice, my feelings out on paper and out of me. And then
What you wanted your inner child to say.
yeah, we got to get that out on paper or out in the world. I know many people that I've learned through that are further in their journey than me, and some of them go to the beach when it's like quiet and there's nobody there, and they like yell, they cry, they just like, but at the end of the day, they nurture it through feelings and words and reassurance of safety, that it's going to be okay, that they're heard, they're seen, and a new day's coming.
That's what you'd say to them, your inner child.
Yeah, I am okay. Little Nicholas, you're okay, brother. You're loved. You're going to do just great. Just keep sharing what you need to instead of becoming so angry and trying to fight to protect yourself and share to protect yourself. Yeah.
That is so beautiful. I so honor you for your courageous, vulnerable truth sharing today.
Thank you.
My goodness, my heart is so open
Yeah, I appreciate you.
right now.
Thank you.
That is powerful. Yeah. If you wanted to say anything about transformation, like what do you think makes it worth it? Because some of these things feel like a lot for people.
Yeah.
What makes it worth it? I know you've talked about being filled up and that warmness you felt in your body, but also the love of your higher power. But what really makes it worth it for you to choose a transformation or a healing journey?
Well, what I would say to answer that question, what's worth it is to feel like I am of value instead of having to project or pretend that I am, to just know that I am. And so transformation is critical because we deserve it, and you deserve it, I deserve it. We all deserve transformation in the sense that there's a brighter, better day that we can have through just being open, honest, vulnerable. And like, I don't ever want to go back to feeling the way I did. And that, to me, my worst day before surrender and transformation is far worse. My best day then is far worse than my worst day now. Does that make sense? So right now, hypothetically speaking, the worst day I've ever had in these last 100 days is tenfold better than my best day before I surrendered and started to transform. Yeah,
Right.
100%. So just like coming to a true understanding and belief that there is a better way to live life, and I have a deserving position on earth to feel love and be loved and to just be healthy and sleep at night with ease.
Beautiful. The inspiration is just oozing out of you.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
And so I think gratitude is the biggest ticket, to be completely frank. We start there, man. Just wherever you are in life, I think we can all take a moment, like in this room. What am I grateful for in this room? Your presence, this comfortable chair I'm sitting on, the water in this cup, the mask that's over there no longer on my face. Like there's a lot to be grateful for. You know, the sun's is setting tonight. It was beautiful as I was waiting outside. I get to go home tonight and ride my skateboard. Like I love skateboarding. That brings me fulfillment and peace. So just find something that brings you that peace, whether it's like drawing, writing, reading, singing. Like just tap into what makes your heart sing.
So neuroscience agrees that it's all about gratitude. When did you realize that in your journey?
Well, I think I got really, really lucky through the lifestyle I was living to like have this unique dichotomy, or like this two sides to me. I had a Midas touch where anything I kind of like would work towards or touch, I would create such beauty out of it. And then I also had the yin to the yang, man. I would create and destroy. I just think that I'm having a little moment here. Can you ask me that question one more time? I really want to answer this one, and I want to hit it home.
At what point did you realize gratitude was the answer?
Oh, shoot. Okay, here we go. We're back on it. I always was thankful for what I had, even if I was in pain, you know? Because I knew it could be far worse, no matter where we are. And this is a really sad but beautiful thing to think about on earth, is there's someone that's always got it worse than I, or you, or the next person. And that's a crazy thing to think about, like how deep does it go? But it's also subjective. We all have pain, and to recognize that we should be grateful for what we have, even the pain, because we know that through the pain we can create something more beautiful and escape it. To be like, you can't have a smile without a frown. Like, what good is a smile without knowing what a frown is? So I was always grateful for the days that were beautiful, and I knew a beautiful day would come when I was in the days that I was frowning.
And so you were holding on to some gratitude in that thread even during your substance use.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We're all blessed. We just got to try to find a way to recognize it. Some people have the ability to sing. Some people have the ability to write. Some people have the ability to be acrobatics or hockey players or whatever it is. You can find some beauty in that. And so if you can hold on to what blessings and gifts you have, like if you're able to tie your shoes, incredible. If you can't tie your shoes, but you can like wave to someone and smile and touch them that way. Like we all have things that we can offer someone, including ourselves. So really like keeping grounded in that. Like I've been able to cut hair and touch people's lives even when I was in a sick position of addiction, but I had that ability to still somehow wear a mask and accomplish a goal, which was to transform someone's image, even though I had my own that I was hiding. I just believed that there was a brighter day to come, and I never really knew how that was going to come, but I just kept believing. Like it's a blind faith, just believing that I had what it took, somehow I'd find it. And we're going to go back. We're going in a circle here, which is a beautiful thing. It all just came down to recognizing that I had what it took, I deserved it, and that I just needed to surrender to find a new way. And I would find that in success around me. Like we all read books. How do you read a book? Because someone wrote it. So there's someone that's greater than us, older than us, more wiser than us, that have seen some things that we haven't, and we can gain from that. Whether it's a book, a TV show, the radio. There's inspiration to take from everywhere,
So be humble and open.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree. That is,
Yeah,
humility is the ticket for sure.
it is. Yeah. Well, I humbly thank you for coming on today.
It was my absolute pleasure.
And my hope for outcome from this episode is that it touches someone's life, even just one person.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Right. It is
I've heard that many times in my life, if I could just help one person or touch one person. And that's kind of where prayer in the chair came, man. If I could just pray or touch or help or share with or be shared, if they could find a position or the safety to share with me and know that I would take it, keep it, and bless it, then that would be incredible.
Awesome.
I think my job's done.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope people will come up to you on the street while you're skateboarding or you're cutting hair and they're like, well, hey, I saw you on that episode, and they share some inspirational story that they gained from this. Okay, well, thanks for coming on, and I actually want to get you on again, so if you're willing to.
I would be honored, and it's been a blessing to be here. I'm thankful for the opportunity. I hope to do this again.